So moving into WNO 30, now obviously this is a big event for us. We have coming up on October 24th. I think we're like 11 days out or so. And I kind of want to just get some of your thoughts overall and everything on it, Lachlan. Kind of first about the 8-man bracket. So we're going to have Declan Moody, Michael Sains, Felipe Costa, Pat Chigoli, Achilles Hosha, Dante Leon, Roberto Jimenez, and then this weekend there's actually like a qualifying bracket going down in Pittsburgh where they're taking 8 local grapplers in Pittsburgh, and whoever wins that is going to be the final spot in kind of this 8-man bracket. So just overall, I'm curious if you have any thoughts kind of on this 8-man bracket for who's number 130.
It would have been funny if we made Kit Dale do that bracket, get into this bracket.
Oh, man, that would have been a great idea.
That definitely should happen. Yeah, look, I think I'm excited to see. I always like seeing the smaller people go in the open weight brackets. So I'm excited to see what Dante Leon can do. He got bronze at ADCC, didn't he, this year?
You, Marcelo, and Dante are the last 3 guys under 88 to medal at the absolute.
Yeah. So look, he's always going to be a force to deal with. That said, I think Declan Moody's looking near unstoppable at the moment. At least from what I saw at CJI and the Euro trials, he's looking really good. So he's probably the person I pick. But there's some really good grapplers in that. Jimenez when he's on is really on. So he could certainly take that. Lots of big guys in there, some big Brazilians in there too, who seem to be doing pretty well. So, yeah. But overall, I think my pick for that would be Declan Moody.
I think that's a solid kind of front runner there. I feel like there's kind of like Declan, Roberto, maybe Dante, kind of in that.
Those are the top 3.
Yeah, that like potential favorites category. I do want to ask you one quick thing about Declan though, not to get too much sidetracked. Did you know Declan was a British guy all along? I just found this out recently. I had no idea.
I've probably heard it and forgotten it. But we'll claim he's Australian. He's definitely Australian. We'll claim him.
All right. That's good to hear. We've been kind of waiting to make sure it's cool to still call Declan Australian, but he's got the Lachlan approval on that. So,
yeah, but definitely one of the matches I think where maybe hoping hits or hope to see is like a Roberto versus Declan potentially. How do you think that match goes down? Because Roberto, like you said, it feels like when he's on, he has anybody's number, but Declan just such on fire right now. So it feels like that'd be a pretty sick match to hit.
Yeah, I think it'd be very interesting. I think probably in a match like that where Roberto could possibly take advantage I think he might be a little bit quicker than Declan. Like I think he moves slightly faster. So Declan's he's not like jumping around too quickly, but he's just like got his weight and positioning in the right spot. But if Roberto can create an angle and look for a back take or something, that would be probably his best pathway to victory. But I think overall, if Declan can overpower him on the feet and get on top, I think he's going to start to apply his pressure and start to pass from there and finish.
Of course. And then some of the super fights, I kind of sent them over to you and everything. I don't know if you had a chance to look at them, but I'm just curious if you have anything that stood out to you with the super fights or anything that kind of gets you excited about this card. It's Sarah Galval versus Trinity Pun, Owen Jones versus Gavin Corby, and then Devontae Johnson versus Gutenberg, Pajera. So any of those kind of stood out to you or anything like that?
I always like watching the smaller grapplers. So
yeah.
Owen Jones and Owen Jones and Gavin will be interesting. Look, Owen's been competing really well. It's always interesting. The Corbet brothers have really shined. I haven't seen as much of Gavin, but are they twins?
No,
just pretty similar looking brothers. Not quite twins.
Real, there's like a year or two difference. Like they're real pretty close, yeah.
On the subject of twins real quick, how crazy is it that Cade and Ty Rutolos are twins, but still 2 of the most identifiable dudes in jiu-jitsu, like even amongst each other. They're identical, but somehow it's super easy to tell Cade and super easy to tell Ty Ruotolo apart. I just think that's interesting.
Let's shave the head and we'll see.
Yeah, exactly. But the hair helps.
Yeah, no, look, I imagine Owen will probably pull guard. So that, like, I always like watching, I prefer watching.
I don't know. He says he's British D1 now. He says he's a British D1 wrestler.
That's probably the equivalent of an Australian D1 wrestler, which is like myself. So,
which is a guard puller.
Which is a lifelong guard puller.
I'm national wrestling champion, believe it or not. So.
Hell yeah.
Oh, let's go. Okay, so
I'm not even joking. That's true.
So you think Owen will come out and pull guard though, and how do you think that kind of plays out with Gavin kind of in a passing position, Owen probably pulling guard?
Look, I think just overall from like their accomplishments so far, it just seems like Owen's been able to push it a bit more in the higher level matches. I don't think Gavin's quite shown that he can achieve the same thing yet as his brother, DeAndre, but I guess we're yet to see. That he's a bit of an unknown to me, so I'm not sure exactly what he's going to bring. I know Owen's got pretty dangerous from guard, great passing, good submissions. So, that's an exciting match to watch.
Definitely. Sorry, Lachlan, I don't mean to interrupt you there. Okay.
Oh, sorry, I was going to say that. Go for it. I was going to ask the other matches where Sarah Galvao was fighting as well.
Yeah, she's fighting Trinity Pun.
Yeah. I haven't studied that match too much, but obviously Sarah, given her second place on who's number one, you'd expect would have to be the heavy favorite in this match, I assume.
I'd say probably so.
And Devontae's actually he's got some really good passing, so I'm excited to see. I would actually like watching his matches. He's got great under the legs passing and north-south passing as well. So yeah.
I think Gutenberg's an interesting addition to this card just because I don't know of a lot of Gutenberg Nogi outside of South American trials in 2021/2. It would have been where he won, but then he wasn't able to actually go to the ADCC World Championship in 2022. So that's kind of I just think it's exciting whenever it's you almost get a guy and get to see it, particularly a gi guy who kind of dominates in the gi, but then it's we kind of missed out on it at the last second. Now it's okay, Gutenberg's kind of back, making a nod at no-gi. So now we get to see him against Devontae, a pretty established no-gi guy. So that's kind of what gets me excited about that one. But do you have something, Joe, you were going to ask? Or go ahead, Lachlan.
Yeah, just the talent pool in the gi, especially coming out of Brazil, is so high. So I think anyone that's doing well in that, they're a talented grappler. So they've got to, if they can make the transition, they'll be a force to reckon with.
Definitely. I wanted to ask you, Lachlan, about who's number one rules. Who's number one going down? Pittsburgh, October 24th. I don't know if we've said that yet, but the way these matches play out is it's one continuous match, no breaks, no rounds. We are seeing more CJI style events where they are putting in rounds, and it is these 5 minutes, then you have to stop, you totally reset. What are your thoughts on one versus the other? Is there one you prefer more as a fan, one you prefer more as a coach/athlete? What are your thoughts on rounds versus no rounds?
I prefer continuous.
I was really hoping you were going to say that. Thank you.
Yeah. No, I just sometimes you work a long time to earn a position, and you want to be able to keep it. I think sometimes at least I'm just purely thinking incentive wise, but if there's a 5 minute round and someone takes your back, there's 2 minutes left. In that round, you can think about just defensively and just try and hold on, because you get a chance then to reset. You don't have to take a risk to get out. Whereas if it's a 10, if it's just this is the whole match, someone's taking your back, then if I want to win this match, I have to actually not only get out but do something good. So I'm gonna have to take some risks. It sort of encourages. I think actually it's usually if you want more submissions, and then you want the person who's in a defensive position to be incentivized to have to get out.